Never thought I'd be so happy to catch my ex-wife cheating. I'm not even sure if this qualifies as revenge. I think it does, but I'll let the public be the judge. First off, this story occurred many years ago. Let me give you a quick rundown of the laws around divorce where we lived at the time. Both parties needed to agree to the divorce unless one party could prove the other was at fault. This would mean something like cheating. There are other reasons, sure, but cheating definitely falls into that category. Now, I honestly shouldn't have married my ex-wife, but I was young, dumb, full of, well, you know how the rest goes. She was pretty, and I did what I did. After our first year of marriage, I came to the conclusion I wanted out. It wasn't working, for so many reasons. But my ex-wife? She didn't want a divorce. Her life was just better being married to me than without me. And I think she was trying to hold on to that, even though there was no love left. So, she set a price. $100,000. That's what it would take for her to agree to the divorce. Yep, that actually happens where we lived. If one party wants out and the other doesn't, the unwilling party sets a number, and then you negotiate. Now, I didn't have $100,000, not even close. I could maybe scrape together $25,000. And honestly, I was willing to pay that. Also, we had no kids. We didn't own anything together, no assets, no ties. We spent a long time going back and forth, arguing over money, how much I'd have to pay her just so she'd let me go. Finally, she agreed. I was thrilled. I was so damn happy. I decided to go out that night and celebrate, and let me tell you, the stars aligned. To give you an idea of just how lucky I was about to get, we lived in a city the size of Chicago. Millions of people, endless places to go, total chaos. My friend took me to a new bar, in a part of the city I had never been to before. We partied, drank, laughed, had a great time. I walked out of the bar around 2:30 a.m. and man, it was like fucking Christmas. There she was, my wife, with another man. I'd always had a hunch she was cheating on me, and now I was so happy I could barely contain it. She was heading for a taxi, so I ran and jumped into a cab behind them, told the driver, "Follow that car," and much to my satisfaction, the taxi was heading straight to my house. She gets out. I pull out my camera and get a few solid photos of them kissing, plain as day. Once I had the evidence, I immediately emailed the pictures to my work account, just to make sure they were backed up. Then I stepped out of the car and walked up to the two lovebirds. I introduced myself, smiled politely, and thanked the kind gentleman, and made just one request. If you two are going to do the deed, please, don't do it in my house. I handed the guy my business card. I thanked him again, told him he'd saved me a ton of money, and said if he ever wanted to grab a beer, I'd be happy to buy him a few rounds. Then I wished them all the best, walked upstairs, and went to bed. Now, to say my ex-wife was livid, that'd be the understatement of the century. But the next morning, she hit me with something, and honestly, I wasn't sure how solid it would hold up in court, but it did concern me. She said, "Since we already agreed to divorce, it wasn't really cheating, so you still have to pay me." Yikes. Well, that afternoon I got a phone call. It was my ex-wife's boyfriend. He apologized for doing the deed with my wife. I told him no worries. Then he said he wanted to talk, face to face. We met up. Turns out, he'd been cheated on before, and apparently, my ex lied to him too. She told him we were just waiting for our divorce to be finalized, which was a lie. She said she didn't live with me anymore, also a lie. Then he asked me something, "Have you been intimate with her in the last 6 months?" I said, "Yeah, I have." His face dropped. Turns out, they'd been together for about 6 months, and they were very active, if you catch my drift. But she told him she wasn't doing anything with anyone, especially not me. Oops. I asked if he had any proof they were dating. He goes, "Yeah." Then he sends me everything. Photos of them together, some of them kissing. Screenshots of text messages, with her clearly lying about her relationship status. It was a gold mine. I compiled everything into a folder, backed it up in multiple places, even loaded it onto a USB drive that I hid at work, just in case she tried to delete anything. She never did. Then, I had a sit-down with my ex-wife. I showed her the mountain of evidence, all of it, and I gave her two options. Option A, she agrees to a non-contested divorce. I give her 30 days to move out, she gets nothing, I get nothing, and we walk away clean. Option B, I lawyer up. I sue the hell out of her. I get a massive judgment against her, still get my divorce, and she's saddled with debt for the rest of her damn life. She picked option A. Smart move. That was a Saturday. That Monday, we went down to the courthouse, filed for divorce, and that kicked off her 30-day countdown. I stayed with a buddy during that time to keep distance. We had a court hearing a few weeks later. The judge made it very clear this was a non-contested divorce. Once he stamped the papers, we had to report it to City Hall, and that was it. No kids, no property, nice and easy. We both agreed, we both signed, judge stamped the documents, I grabbed my divorce decree, rushed down to City Hall, and bam! Free man. I actually ended up becoming friends with the guy who was hooking up with my wife. We still talk occasionally. During the COVID pandemic, we